Poppy Pomfrey was the matron of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. She was a very nice but very strict woman. She attended Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry from 1955 to 1972. She was a half-blooded witch with her unknown parents, as her parents aren't mentioned throughout the series. And this is the life of Poppy Pomfrey. Poppy Pomfrey was born in 1994 in Scotland in an uncertain location. She received the Hogwarts letter in 1955. In the welcoming feast, she was sorted into the Ravenclaw house. But the Ravenclaw house is my theory because her house is not mentioned in any book or not even in Pottermore. So according to my theory, because of her wits and knowledge on healing magic, she might have been sorted into Ravenclaw house. It is unknown whether she was made a prefect or a head girl, and it is also unknown that whether she was good in any subject or how much owls or newts she received. But she might have been very good in the defense against the dark arts, so that she became the matron and had knowledge on how to heal and defense against the dark potions and spells. She may also have been good in the potions class, as she made many potions, healing potions for her patients. That tells us that she had a very good knowledge in potions, and she might probably have been taught by Professor Horace Slughorn, the potions teacher at the time. After passing from Hogwarts in 1962, she came back to Hogwarts in 1969 to become the matron of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. She was taken for the job by the newly appointed headmaster, Albus Dumbledore. And one of her first duties were to take Remus Lupin, who was infected by the Fenrir Greyback and who was a werewolf, and had to take him every month on full moon night to the Whomping Willow, where he would transform into his werewolf form, and so that he would be away from all the students and staff. When Lord Voldemort started to rise in power, Professor Dumbledore made the Order of Phoenix. She did not join the Order of Phoenix, but it is also known that she fought in the battle in the First Wizarding War or not. In 1991, famous Harry Potter came to Hogwarts in his first year, and came to know about the Philosopher's Stone. He, Ron, Hermione went to stop Professor Snape, thinking that Professor Snape was stealing the Philosopher's Stone. Went to stop him, but actually it came out Professor Quirrell was trying to steal it. Harry fought bravely with Professor Quirrell until he almost destroyed him and was saved by Professor Dumbledore, and was taken into the hospital wing, and Madame Pomfrey took care of him for more than a week. When he was finally conscious, she allowed Professor Dumbledore to meet him, but was little angry over him when it took more than 15 minutes. She allowed him to come at the end of term feast on Professor Dumbledore's special request, and herself attended the end of term feast. The next year, the Chamber of Secrets was opened, and the basilisk, or the monster inside it, was opened in this school, and many students were attacked. Many were petrified, but none was killed. The victims started from Mrs. Norris, and then they went on to many students. All were treated Madame Pomfrey. It was a very lot of hard work to help these students. Finally, Harry and Ron closed the chamber, killed the basilisk, stopped Voldemort from returning back to power, and saved everyone. Harry and Ron were all treated again by Madame Pomfrey. In the 1994-95 school year, in which the Triwizard Tournament was being held at Hogwarts, Madame Pomfrey was seen tending students after every task. After the first task, where Cedric burned half of his face and Harry had many injuries. She tended to both of them. After the second task, she was tending to each champion after they had spent more than an hour under the Black Lake. She was also tending to the people who had been under the water, means who were the things which the champions had saved. And after task, she tended to Harry, Victor Crumb, and Fleur Delacour, because Cedric was no more and had died where Voldemort had came back to power. Poppy Pomfrey was in the few people who believed Professor Dumbledore and Harry Potter that Lord Voldemort had returned back to power. She joined the reconstituted Order of the Phoenix, but worked like a spy, means didn't tell anyone. Many of the people didn't knew that she was also in the order. Her job as the matron of Hogwarts, and this year Dolores Jane Umbridge came as the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Soon she tried and soon Professor Dumbledore was removed from his place as the headmaster, and Umbridge was made the new headmistress. Poppy Pomfrey wasn't much happy with Umbridge, but she didn't care about her and continued to do her job. At the end, Professor Dumbledore came back to Hogwarts and Umbridge was suspended. The next year, series of misfortune occurred with many students. First, Katie Bell was cursed by a very cursed necklace, where she spent a week in the hospital wing at Hogwarts, and then spent 6 months in St. Mungo's hospital for visiting maladies and injuries. After that, Ron Weasley was poisoned by wine, which was supposed to be for Professor Dumbledore. Though Harry saved Ron by giving a bazaar, Ron had to spend 3 days in the hospital wing, where Lavender, Ron, Harry, and Ginny were always all side, except when Ron said Hermione and needed to ask for Hermione. Lavender left very angrily. That year, Battle of the Stormy Tower took place, where Severus Snape killed Professor Dumbledore. Many students were injured, and Bill Weasley was scratched badly by Fenrir Greyback in the face, which left a very dark scar in his face. Poppy Pomfrey said that she couldn't heal them as they were dark marks, and that they would remain with him forever. And everyone thought that there might be some changes in Bill, but the next morning when Bill woke, there was only one change in him, that now he'd like to eat meat on the raw side. Next year, Severus Snape was made the new headmaster of Hogwarts, and Electo and Master Scarrow were the new Defense Against the Dark Arts and the Moral Studies teachers. They brutally tortured and attacked students and beat them very badly and tortured them with the Cruciatus curse. Many students spent weeks in the hospital wing, and this year's Madame Pomfrey's work was doubled by the Carrows, as so many students used to come to treat their injuries. She fought bravely in the Battle of Hogwarts and killed at least one Death Eater. After the battle, she was seen tending to the injured and helping to carry the dead. She continued her job as the matron of Hogwarts till 2016, when Hannah Abbott applied for the job of matron when Professor McGonagall was the new headmistress. And Hannah Abbott became the new matron of Hogwarts. So it might have been that Hannah Abbott and Madame Pomfrey might have worked together, or Madame Pomfrey might have retired, but it is unknown what happened to her after that. And that is all for the life of Poppy Pomfrey. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys, and I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have enjoyed it, then please do hit the like button, and subscribing to the channel would be greatly appreciated. Please leave your comments below so that I can read them. And you can also follow me on Instagram at JustMeToSecret, and you will find the link given in the descriptions to follow me on Instagram. Some of my other videos also might be appearing on the left and right hand side of the screen. Don't forget to watch them, like them, share them, and leave your comments below them as well.